Alright, here we are, I think. Assuming everything's going properly and I didn't mess it up somehow. We are live. Hello everybody and welcome to the Celadon Game Corner. I'm going to move this over here. This is my new podcast that I'm decided to start with no announcement whatsoever. Where I will be recording or streaming it with two potential different people or both. Today we have my good friend Alex, who anybody that watches my channel at all obviously knows because he's been appearing regularly on the channel for a long time. We still have so many backup videos that have not been uploaded yet. We've just recorded so much. But once a week, he shows up here. So Alex, would you like to say hi?
No.
And so in this podcast, I figured we'll go through with the current state of the wrestling. Sorry, I just got back from a wrestling show, so wrestling's on the mind. The gaming world, current events in the gaming world, games we're playing, stuff we've picked up recently, stuff we're excited for in the future. Just kind of talk about games, pretty much. And with all that being said, before we get started, I want to tell a story real quick. Because you know how I told Alex before I got home for us to start this, and I was telling you how I was stuck in Nashville traffic.
Yeah.
So, it's specifically around like the Broadway area, like the downtown area. Every building's a bar. Like there's nothing but bars in this area. And I unfortunately had to drive through because of where the parking garage I was in was. And you know how, well, no, because you don't live in Champaign, but you know how sometimes just in traffic in general there'll be people that are like very impatient, and so they will block intersections, just hoping to try to get across if the light at the next intersection ever turns green. And so then like the entire intersection is blocked and nobody can move. Try to get, you know, that type of circumstance.
There's one specific intersection Champagne that comes to mind. Mention that.
There's one in Champaign that happened to a lot for me, but there's this one intersection in Nashville. It was on the corner of Demon Braun and was it Broadway, or was it the one after that? No, it wasn't Broadway, because Broadway was closed on one side. It was the next street after. I can't remember, but so everybody was so impatient. Everybody was stopping in the intersection, so nobody was moving because everybody blocked everybody off. And I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm seeing people like fly in to try to wedge their way in to this clusterfuck of cars. It's just in this middle of this intersection, and so nobody was moving, trying to get everybody to move. And I'm just watching this like 4 cars back from the intersection. I'm like, what? The people that are trying to get themselves through are the ones that are making it take longer for themselves. If people just didn't do that, they would be moving so much more smoothly. And as I'm saying this, I was like, watch, I'll prove it. And so and there's this one other guy I noticed as I'm getting closer to the intersection, as cars are slowly working their way through. There's a guy to my right, and he was going to turn left, so turn onto the street that I'm on, but go in the other direction. And I see he's also when he gets up there, he doesn't enter the intersection until he can make it across. Like he leaves it open so other cars can get through. And you know, I'm when I finally get up there, I'm doing the same. And so when I leave it clear and he's able to go through, he goes and turns left. This lady behind him, because when he turns left, he's stopped essentially right next to me, just facing the other direction. He's the last car that could fit in our street. And this lady in a van, by herself, from what I could see, because the windows were not tinted, freaking pulls through. I just smacked my microphone. Sorry about that. She pulls through, and she stops. I kid you not, like dead in front of me, sideways, like, and blocking off again the intersection and stopping people from my left side from going straight across. And she just kind of just pulls up there and stops there. And that guy that I let go, who is directly to my left because traffic is still stopped there. I see him roll down his window because his windows were tinted, so I couldn't see in there. But this is how I know it's a guy. He rolls down his window, and my windows are not tinted. And so he's looking right at me. So I look over, and he looks at me, and he looks at the lady behind him. He looks back at me, and he has the most disappointed look on his face as he's just shaking his head. And I've got that. I put on that, that smile of a smile of hatred. Not for the person that, not for him, obviously, but like, it's like, I want to say, fuck that person, but I can't. That kind of smile on, and I could see him just mouth, "I'm sorry," and I just shrug because it's like, it is what it is, and like he's just sitting there looking back at her, and this lady's just like looking around, like, you could tell she's refusing to look at me because like she just realized how stupid what she just did was. Because not only is she stopped in front of me and blocking the intersection, the angle she's at, she won't be able to turn left sharp enough to actually get into the street. Like, I don't know why she pulled up the way she did. She's like, especially in a van. If she was in like a Mini Cooper, maybe she could have made that turn. But traffic eventually like starts to go in front of him. He looks at me and he gives me a thumbs up and goes, "Good luck." And I'm like, "Thanks." And so then I watched this van make like a 3-point turn to get out of the intersection. I'm able to make it across because the cars on the other side were kind of forced to obey that side because she was blocking off the intersection, so there's nobody else was able to pull out and block the intersection. So that's what I guess she ultimately ended up clearing the way for me on accident, but it wouldn't have had to happen that way if she didn't block it off in the first place. But anyway, just this interaction I had with this one guy over the stupidity of this one lady, and that whole intersection. That was only part of what took so long, but that was the biggest part. I could tell that's what was clogging up traffic all the way back for blocks. But once I finally made it through there, it was easy going. And traffic was a little busy, like just because so many cars had been congested in that one area. But like, 1 or 2 blocks later, it was smooth sailing. I just was finally able to drive home. So what should have been a 45 minute drive ended up being an hour and a half long drive. Just because of that one intersection. Anyway, that is all for story time. Story time with Jesse for today. The first topic I wanted to discuss is probably the biggest topic that's been going on in the world of gaming for the past like couple weeks now, which is a little thing called Stop Killing Games. I don't know if you are familiar with it, Alex.
I don't think I've heard of that, actually.
So it is an initiative that started by a man named Ross. That is essentially the goal of it is to they're trying to challenge the legality. I'm trying to remember the exact terms he used. Challenge the legality of game publishers destroying games that customers have already bought and paid for. For example, I don't know if you know the game The Crew from Ubisoft, but it was a game people bought for $60, and can no longer play because they shut down the servers and the game requires that server connection to run. So people that bought that game cannot play it, no refunds, no, they were not told at the point of purchase that it was going to expire at some point. And they're saying that, saying that should not be legal. If a customer buys something, they should have access to it. Obviously not, they go further into detail on the Stop Killing Games website, but they're not saying they have to keep the game online forever, per se. Like, obviously servers can't be run infinitely forever while opening up new servers for tons of new games in the future and just never shutting any down. But it should be left in some sort of functional playable state, whether it be an offline patch to let it run offline, or have hand over the APIs to the customer base to be able to host their own private servers to be able to play the game. Tons of different options like that, but give it to where somehow the people that bought that game can still play it. Is the shtick. And they've been starting, and I say petitions, I'm not talking like a change.org petition. I'm talking like actual government petitions that get submitted to the government themselves to have their governments all over the world, not the United States. The United States doesn't give a shit about consumer protection rights. But notably, the European Union, who has this thing called the European Citizens Initiative, if I have the name right, where if these formal government petitions, if they can gather 1 million valid signatures, you have the right to where you can bring it up in front of Parliament of the European Union, and they have to hear you out and discuss the pitch of this petition. And this has led to tons of pro-consumer stuff in the tech and gaming world so far. Like, iPhones have to use USB-C cables now. They're not allowed to force you to use their own proprietary charger that's only for Apple products and nothing else. You have to use a more universal one. And gacha games, like a Genshin Impact type thing, they're giving more, or making them give you more transparency on what your odds are and how much money you're spending. No hiding stuff behind whatever the in-game currency is. They have to show you what the cost for each thing is in real world money. And they've made it to where they're not allowed to force you to buy currency in preset bundles. You have to be allowed to buy in the exact amount that you want to buy. Like, a lot of them will do, what a lot of these services will do is they'll be like, it costs 1,000 gems or whatever to make a draw or to roll for a new character, but you can only buy gems in bundles of 800 or 1,200, so you have to buy more than what you need just to make that amount. Essentially trying to combat that. So they're and Stop Killing Games has passed 1 million, by the way, on the signatures. They're at 1.3 million last I checked. Though they want to hit 1.4 just to be sure that no, like any invalid or botted signatures or people pretending to be from the EU that are not from the EU signing. They want to essentially filter for when those get inevitably removed, they want to make sure there's still 1 million. But it's been a big talking point because they have until the end of July to gather enough signatures. And it kind of exploded in popularity over the past couple weeks out of a last-ditch effort to try to save this initiative, because the guy's been running it for like a year now, and yeah, so that's a big talking point. Just like, do you know the game Anthem from EA?
Yeah.
So that game is being shut down in January. It will no longer be playable. And they announced it during the Stop Killing Games, like during this 2-week period when Stop Killing Games has been super popular. Really bad timing, if you ask me, to announce something like that. But So once January, I forget the exact date, but sometime in January of 26, people that bought that game are no longer going to be able to play it. No refunds, nothing. But I guess you're not familiar, so you probably won't have a huge. I don't know how much you have to say on it, but I know you, much like myself, prefer physical games a lot of the time, at least on Switch.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of it, at least a lot of the reason for me, is game preservation, which is why Stop Killing Games is important to me. I think games should be preserved just like every other form of media, like music and movies. They can't just, you can't buy a DVD then have them just take the movie away from you. Like that DVD doesn't work anymore.
I agree.
Why is that suddenly okay in video games?
That's up what they're doing.
Also,
servers have to be operated, maintained, can't run forever, but they should figure out some way to keep it the game operational if the servers are down.
Yeah, there's obviously sometimes when like an offline patch won't work. Like for an MMO, you can't just make an offline patch. That's not how MMOs work. And I'm sure maybe you could, but I don't think anyone wants to play an MMO just by themselves. Maybe there is someone out there that prefers to have a single player MMO, which I guess is just an O at that point. Actually, no, because it's offline, so it won't even have the O. It's just a game at that point. But it's like that's when like hand out the code for servers, like the APIs for people to be able to host their own private servers, and so that way people can play on those. They don't have to sustain them. Someone has mentioned some people from Video Games Europe, which is a big group organization comprised of all of essentially every video game publisher you've ever heard of: EA, Activision, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, Ubisoft, everybody. Put out a statement of like, people, if someone else is hosting their own servers, then any bad activity that happens on there is the publishers are liable. Like if somebody's hacking people through those servers, they're whoever published the game, it could be held legally liable when they had nothing to do with it. And to that I say, put a disclaimer whenever you're shutting the game down, or put a disclaimer, put in the EULA of using private servers, or anything that happens on private servers is not the responsibility of whatever insert publisher here. I don't think like that should be enough to completely discredit the whole thing. I get where they're coming from, but I don't think it's completely unavoidable. Just have it be like, hey, this is not an official server, so whatever, like, what people do on here is not Ubisoft or Activision, whatever. It's not, they cannot be held liable for what people do on these servers, Anyway, all this discussion has gotten, or all the discussion around Stop Killing Games over the past couple weeks has got me to where the only digital games I buy are ones on my PC, which are games I already own. But I only get them through a service called GOG, or Good Old Games. If you know what that is or not, it is a service that only sells games that are they're DRM free, cannot be, and they're ones that they will not be shut down at any point. It's just a straight exe. You have it forever, can't be taken away from you. And just knowing that is they're they're the one place that I'll buy digital games right now, because I feel I have such little trust in digital gaming. Heck, there's a lot of physical games I won't buy because I won't have the game on the cartridge, or it requires a server connection to be played single player. Until Stop Killing Games goes through, I don't have any reason to play any online only games, really. But speaking of which, on the Good Old Games sale that they got going on right now, I got 3 games for like $6 and some change. I got Rayman 2, Tomb Raider, the not the original one, but the first one of like the newer trilogy, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition with all the DLC, and the first Fear game, all for like $6 all together. Which is
pretty good,
cool.
damn.
Solid deal. I hadn't actually played the first Tomb Raider. I played Rise and Shadow, but I had never played just plain Tomb Raider. So I started playing that. But that'll be for the second portion of the podcast of what we're playing right now. But anyway, yeah, Good Old Games is a place I definitely recommend. They also have a lot of like retro PC games that they've personally updated to work on modern computers whenever the publishers themselves don't do it. But the next thing I wanted to talk about is, did you hear about the Microsoft layoffs?
I did. I watched a video about that. I think it was yesterday morning. Yeah. I mean, they've been doing a lot of those lately.
Yeah.
Like
15,000 this year. 9,000 of them they just did.
Definitely seems like Microsoft's trying to like shift up their whole business strategy, and I could get laying some people off, and they're doing that. But like these people got livelihoods. They depend on that job to pay them bills, you know.
Yeah. If you ask me, they're just replacing everybody with AI. Microsoft has invested $80 billion into AI, and I guarantee you it's not just for Copilot, and not just for Copilot, for their whole system. I think they're trying to replace as much with AI as possible, which I cannot stand. So Microsoft has been pushing me further and further away for years now. First with just not having good exclusives for the most part anymore. They did have Indiana Jones, but that still came to PlayStation eventually. And what good stuff they do have has gone multi-platform, so I have no reason to buy an Xbox. Like Forza Horizon is on PlayStation. It's pretty much the only franchise Xbox has left, which brings me to my next portion of the layoffs. As part of those layoffs, around half of the Forza Motorsport team got laid off, which is crazy if you ask me, because like I just said, that's the only franchise they have left that hasn't gone down the drain.
It's like one of their big Xbox only titles.
That's
the one.
That's the last one of the Xbox trilogy that hasn't, I guess, fallen off, as people say. And Halo and Gears of War are still around, and Gears of War E-Day hasn't come out yet, so I can't confirm whether it's good or bad. I hope it's good. I want these franchises to do well, but Halo hasn't been Halo for a long time now. that franchise is the definition of a fall from grace. It went from being the holy grail of all game franchises in the 2000s, where it was treated as royalty, to kids being like, I think I've heard of Halo. It's crazy.
I freaking love Halo, and I watch it all like that. I even tried Infinite, and I just couldn't even finish it. It's bad, but I can't finish it.
It's because it's not that they're completely horrible. It's just Halo was so top tier Like Halo 1 through 3, ODST, and Reach were all some of the best shooters ever made. Like all of those games are probably in like the top 30 best shooters ever made. Until Bungie left, which I don't blame Bungie for leaving. I never blame people for wanting to not just continually work on the same franchise over and over again. I'm not gonna blame Bungie for it. Granted, with how Bungie's gone, I think Halo would have been doomed regardless. But
Yeah, going and started on Destiny. Ooh.
but so I guess Halo would have gone that way one way or the other. But yeah, when I didn't hate. I still actually quite liked Halo 4. Multiplayer wasn't as good as previous entries, but I still enjoyed the campaign a good bit. Didn't think it was as good as the previous ones, but it was still enjoyable. Thought some of the new weapons were really cool, like the Forerunner weapons. But Halo 5.
Oh my god.
Man.
I was expecting a big old showdown between Locke and Chief, and they like punched each other once, and that was it.
Did you see the
I was like, okay.
where somebody made a lore accurate edit of the Locke Chiefs showdown?
Right. I've seen that actually.
Did you say you have or you haven't?
I don't think I have seen it.
It is. It is my favorite thing to come out of Halo 5. Where is this? Was it this one?
Like, I would have even been cool if they didn't have the whole big thing, but that's what it was marketed as, and I was expecting it. They
Here we go.
I
found it.
I like it.
Let me send this over to you, so you can see this real quick.
The gameplay of Halo 5 was pretty fun. I loved doing the ground and all of that.
Yeah,
But
it did
the
have some solid
story
gameplay
was like-
stuff. The story was so bad.
It's like, what's going on here? What are we doing?
It's not good. It's short.
Why are we bringing Cortana back just to make her evil?
Yeah, it was
I
so
was even
unbelievably
willing to
short.
entertain it for a little bit, but it's just like, yeah.
I literally beat the game in one sitting. I was so disappointed.
They bring her back to do that.
Man,
Like they could have just left her dead. In honor, in respect of Cortana, just we were dead.
yeah.
I'm messed up this end, but we were dead.
She was better off dead, yeah. So check out this lore accurate fight scene here. It is essentially if the people making the story actually cared about the lore to Halo, going into Halo 5, how that fight scene should have played out, essentially. It's less than a minute long, but
It's already more action for like than what actually happened in the game. Oh yeah, gotta get that stretch in, Chief. Don't want to break your back with fight. Oh, that's dirty. It's cake locked into nothing.
But essentially, the shtick is, according to if you're in touch with Halo lore, Locke shouldn't have stood a freaking chance against Chief. Chief should have just beat his ass, left him in the dust. Um, so that it being as evenly matched as it was made no sense. It'd make more sense if you had maybe all of what's that? What's Locke's team called again? Osiris, is that his team?
Theo, Osiris sounds familiar.
Um,
I know Master Chief was blue team.
like if it was just him against the 5 of them, maybe, yeah, there would be a fight there, but Locke shouldn't stand a chance. At least not unless Locke goes through a lot more first to end up getting to that level. And Halo 5 in its entirety is like 3 hours, so the talk about disappointing. This whole thing turned into just a Halo 5 hate discussion, but so yeah, the Microsoft exclusives have fallen off. The one that they had left, they're trying to get to fall off apparently. Another thing I've hated, if you haven't noticed, but they've essentially stopped doing physical media. They don't make physical copies of Xbox exclusive games anymore. Well, I don't know why I'm saying exclusive. There's no such thing anymore. But like first party games essentially, like the Gears of War remaster, Gears of War Reloaded, I believe it is, the new Gears of War remaster, is being published by Microsoft. Obviously, it's only getting a physical release on PlayStation. It does not get one on Xbox.
And Microsoft said, "Fuck y'all" on Xbox. You don't give it.
I believe it was the same for Doom, The Dark Ages. But one thing they've also stopped doing, what they stopped doing before then, is they stopped putting the actual game on the cartridge or on the disc. It's sort of like the Nintendo Switch game key cards. You kind of put the disc in there, and it has enough just data on there just to queue up a download for the rest of the game. And that's what they're doing for the PlayStation releases too. So far, I really hope they cut that out. Like, you're printing a disc regardless. It's not like you're buying an increased disc size, to my knowledge. Just put the game on the freaking disc. That's the reason I never bought Doom: The Dark Ages, is because the game's not on the disc. I need the game to be on the disc. I don't want to have to download the whole thing from the internet. I want the disc itself to have the game preserved on it.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, it's bullcrap. I hate it. So Xbox has been pushing me away for a while.
Dude, I haven't had my Xbox in a long while. Just sitting there gathering dust. I never upgraded to the Series X. I didn't see any point in it. And it was also during COVID. I was actually actually considering getting one. They were hard to find anywhere.
Yeah, at first I had considered it, but at the end of the day, I got a PlayStation 5 eventually, about 2 years ago. I want to say 2 years ago. I'm closer to 2.5 now, but because I know PlayStation's exclusive library hasn't been great this generation, at least in comparison to last generation, but we still have Ghost of Yotei coming out. We had Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Astrobot, Returnal, God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, Horizon Forbidden West. We still have plenty of stuff, and everything good that's on Xbox right now, I can already play on PlayStation pretty much, outside of stuff that I can play on my Xbox One or 360 or original. There's nothing on the Xbox Series X that I want to play that I can't play on my PlayStation right now. So
I can't really think of a game exclusive to the Series X.
I don't know if there is one. And there might be like a smaller title, but I can't think of anything that hasn't been sent over to PlayStation or Switch. Yeah. Hi-Fi Rush got brought over, right? I think. Let me see. I haven't played
Actually,
Hi-Fi Rush. I heard that game was good. I'll give it that. I just didn't know if it's... Yep, it's on PlayStation.
yeah, I've heard it's pretty good too. I've never played it.
I want to play it at some point. It looked really good, but regardless, Xbox is by far the worst publisher of the three. Say what you will about Nintendo's game key cards, at least they're still putting their games on cartridges, and a couple companies out there still are. You got Cyberpunk on the cartridge, got Rune Factory on the cartridge. Right. They're doing something and keeping their games exclusive, which to me is the better thing to do, not because of some fanboy-ishness, but for the sake of competition. To me, I exclusive sell consoles. That is a big portion of the decision making when choosing between PlayStation and Xbox is which one has the better games, you know? And when the answer is this one has every single game that's on the other one, but these other really good games as well that's not on the other one. Then
Nintendo's putting out some pretty banging games.
Yeah, Nintendo's got some great ones, and they're keeping them exclusive. And if people just because Xboxes have been selling very poorly, hardware-wise, and am I the only one that's just happened to notice that the downward trend in console sales has correlated with the downward trend in the quality of their exclusives that started in the Xbox One generation? Like the Xbox 360 was the best-selling Xbox, and it had, you know, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach, the Gears of War games, had some Forza Motorsports, it had Fable, it had tons of shit on it that was amazing that people loved, and it sold the best. Then Halo and Xbox One, Halo fell off, Gears of War fell off, Fable didn't even happen, I don't think. And look, it sold poorly. And heading into Xbox Series generation, they haven't gotten a Gears of War. They're getting this remaster, but they're the one Halo they got had a pretty darn rough launch and hasn't been great. And the only Forza they put out, I heard, was actually not the best Forza. I heard it wasn't horrible, it was kind of mediocre. And it's selling horribly. The one good exclusive, like one good big exclusive, I should say, that they put out, because they've had some good smaller ones. Like Ori was, I believe, exclusive for a little while, and Ori was very good. I played it on Switch, but Indiana Jones came out on Xbox. I heard that was very good. I haven't played it yet because they didn't put the game on the disc. Drives me nuts. But they I was like, oh, they're turning things around. They put out an actually exclusive game, and then like 3 months later, like, oh, here it is. It's coming to PlayStation. So it's like, never mind. Still didn't put it on the disc, so I'm not buying it regardless. But
they could easily get it on a disc if they wanted to.
Yeah, they could. It's not like it's too big to fit on the disc. The discs holds so much stuff nowadays. Like, the only game I can think of recently that's taken more than one disc is Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk's a huge game.
Yeah.
And that was on the Xbox One that I had it. I assume the Series X version also was that way, but anyway. And another big disappointment for me with this with all these layoffs is this led to the closure of the studio and canceling of Perfect Dark, which was my most anticipated Xbox game. I don't know if you've seen any of the gameplay of it, but this Perfect Dark reboot was a campaign-based first-person shooter, much like Perfect Dark, the original. But it was going to have while having first-person shooter, or being a first-person shooter, it has all the movements and stuff of like Mirror's Edge. If you've played Mirror's Edge or know of Mirror's Edge, you got full-on parkour movement. It looked great. I thought the game looked phenomenal. I was so excited, and they just straight up canceled it. They created the studio just to make, what was it, the Initiative, I think was the name of the studio. They created the studio just to make Perfect Dark 7 years ago. They spent 7 years working on it. You're anticipating to see it next year, and they just canceled the game and closed the studio.
It's so fucked up.
If it wasn't going along
7
well,
years.
put some support teams on there. Heck, the team from Forza, those half of the members you just laid off, put them on there, or something. But you got so many people that instead of laying other people off, you can put them to support in other projects that are struggling.
Yeah.
Do stuff with me.
7 years.
I get restructuring, that you can move people around, have them work, or make them work on a smaller project or something. So really, the only upcoming Xbox game that I have any care about at all is Fable. They're bringing Fable back. Don't know if it's going to be any good or not. We've hardly seen anything on it, but it needs to be good at this point. Because if it's not, and I already don't have any faith in any Xbox game even coming out at this point, because they've said that there are numerous unannounced games that got canceled. But
they need some good games if they want to. Well, I guess they got Game Pass, but
that rumored
Game Pass, they have nothing going for them.
Game Pass is it, and even then, I'm hearing they're saying it's not sustainable. Like, just that subscription is not enough to counteract all the money they're putting into all the games and everything. It's almost like they shouldn't throw the concept of sales completely out the window. I'm not irritated about it or anything, but... And lastly, they need this, if it's true, but the alleged Halo Combat Evolved remake, that the new Halo Studios, because 343 has been completely restructured, threw out the old management and got new management in, restructured the whole thing. They've abandoned the Slipspace engine and are going to be working on Unreal, and the word is that they're likely working on a remake of Combat Evolved, to sort of get used to Unreal and be able to sort of earn people's trust back. That needs to be good. If that is what's happening, it needs to be good. Halo needs a good game so bad.
If they do good, I'll give them a little trust, but it'll take more than that. You're like, okay, that's good. You're going the right way. I'm gonna need a little more of full trust.
It's gonna take a lot for them to get me back into the Xbox ecosystem. But like, because I considered getting the new Xbox ROG Ally that's coming out, just to get some games that aren't on Switch that I own on like my PlayStation already physically, and maybe play them digitally on there, or even just put freaking GOG on there and play that. Now I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to get a regular ROG Ally at some point, maybe. And which still works with Xbox, but Xbox doesn't get any portion of the sales when I buy one. But
Xbox ain't doing anything to make me want to stay or keep coming back.
Which sucks, because I like I liked Xbox. Like, I preferred the 360 over the PS3 for sure, easily.
Me too.
PS4 I preferred over the Xbox One, but that's because PS4's library was just absolutely slapping, while Xbox One had a lot of letdowns. Only the smaller games were the real big successes. But like,
I had the Master Chief Collection carry me through that whole Xbox.
that was the only Master Chief Collection, and my at the time hype for Halo 5 were the only things that got me into buying an Xbox One. And let me tell you, Halo 5 is not one of those two that kept me on there. The Master Chief Collection, which from what I heard had a rough launch. I didn't get it immediately, but I heard it had a pretty darn rough launch, but they fixed it. I think it was really buggy, but
It
That's
was.
the
I remember getting it like a day or two after it launched, and it was the campaigns worked fairly decent, but it also had its issues that he kicked me out or froze up. I didn't really try the multiplayer, which I think had the most issues. I just wanted to play the campaigns.
yeah, that's mostly what I did too. Was campaigns. The one other game I did play on my Xbox One, that it's a multi-plat game, but Mirror's Edge, bringing it up again, but Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I would love for that to get put out on Switch too, or maybe make a new one. EA, please. I never thought I'd be the EA franchises I want them to make new games on are the ones they won't. They won't make a new Burnout. They won't make a new Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge, I had so much. Or Mirror's Edge Catalyst specifically, is an open world game where the whole shtick is parkour. You're a runner and you gotta like do cool runner shit as you're running and leaping across buildings and like sliding under shit and wall running and all this cool stuff. And it is so much fun. I would just play it. I wouldn't even necessarily be playing the story. I'd just be running around in the overworld, just running around while talking to people, just casually. It was just running around was so much fun. Anyway, that was the only other game I really played extensively on my Xbox. Everything else was on my PS4 and now my PS5.
And stuff. I learned that games are really what the whole thing is about. You don't need the best hardware, the best specs or anything.
As long as it keeps up, is the shtick.
Really look at Nintendo. They are known for having underpowered consoles compared to the others, and they sell like hotcakes.
Except for the Wii U, but outside of that one,
yeah, we don't talk about the Wii U.
But you know what that Nintendo did when Wii U sales were struggling? You know how many people they laid off? 0. They didn't lay off a single person. Iwata the CEO cut his salary in half. Other executives cut their salaries by 25%, and they ran off of those budget cuts until the Switch came out. They refused to lay off a single person. Microsoft.
That's how you know Nintendo actually does care about their people.
They're like, say what you will about how they treat the fans in certain ways with like fan projects and everything, but from pretty much everything I've heard, the employees there tend to be really happy. And they treat their people well and have good philosophies when it comes to making games and how they treat their employees and everything. From what I understand, I obviously don't work there, but them struggling through I don't know if you've seen the graph of their revenue over the years for each system, and you can clearly see when the Wii U comes out, after the success of the Wii, down to the Wii U, then back up to the Switch it's a drastic. It is a very noticeable change.
I definitely took a chance with the Wii U.
Yeah, there were good things about it, but their marketing was horrible, and the gimmick and stuff with it was cool, but it wasn't cool enough to take people away from like the other systems. It's like it's cool, but it's also only about as powerful as my PS3. It just didn't.
I liked the gamepad for some things. It was like neat little addition, but it was like, do I actually need this entire gamepad for the game, or could I just it's not that important to have?
Like it was cool for like like inventory management or like a map, maybe some asymmetrical multiplayer where you have split screen without having to actually do a split screen. Granted, the Wii U gamepad's picture quality was pretty shit, but
playing Wind Waker Remap HD on the Wii U, I love to use the
Yeah.
gamepad there.
Yeah, there was fun to be had there.
I actually kind of prefer it that way too. It's just so convenient. It's right there. You have a map. You can pull up, see where you're at, adjust your inventory on the fly right there.
I also did enjoy how in some games you could swap the actual game video to the gamepad. So like if in the situation where like if you know another family member needed to use the TV, you could just bring the game down onto the gamepad and play it on there while someone else uses the TV. I didn't have to use it that much because it was in my own room, but you know if I wanted to watch TV and play a game, I could do that.
I actually did utilize that a couple times. Or someone wanted to watch TV, or I just wanted to play somewhere else without moving the whole console around.
Yeah. The one last piece of news that I can think of, or that I can recall right now that I really wanted to discuss was something I'm just learning about, like about half an hour before we started this, like right when I got home. Do you know the game Subnautica?
Yes, and I have actually played a little bit of it.
I have not, I don't think, but I know of it. So they've been working on a second one, and there's the publisher that I can't remember the name of right now. It starts with like a K, I think, that bought the studio that makes Subnautica, that I again can't remember the name of. And so this publisher fired the CEO, director, and co-founder of the studio that makes Subnautica. And
What the hell?
what they were saying, it had to do with job abandonment. Though the people that got fired came out and said that's not, we did not abandon Subnautica 2. They apparently had this deal during the acquisition where if certain milestones were reached, or certain goals were hit for the development of Subnautica 2, the studio as a whole would share a big bonus of $250 million. Like this publisher would pay $250 million to the studio. It'd be dispersed around the crowd, but the biggest portions obviously going to the CEO, directors and founders and shit. By firing them and intentionally delaying the game, it keeps them from hitting that goal, so they don't have to pay out that money. That's the other reason that's going around for why they were fired, is the publisher didn't want to pay that money out. I'm not super all the way through learning about it yet, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but just if that is what it is, that is really scummy. Like, I'm not the kind of person to really be like, oh man, the CEO really could have used that bonus. But, the coders and the devs there, like, could have used it. Like, I'm sure the people that are working on the game, the actual people there at the computers, now they're not getting that bonus because of the company cheaping out. I don't know. That rubbed me the wrong way. So yeah.
Oh, like that's fucked up. Like, if you didn't want to pay him out, why did you even make that deal saying you would?
Yeah, don't make the deal in the first place.
Exactly. Just make a different deal, or don't do it at all.
Yeah. Okay, so that about, I believe, wraps up the news portion of the podcast. And I think we should head into What we're currently doing, game-wise, if we've picked up any games recently. Have you picked up any games recently or started playing anything new?
Well, I was wanting to get Cyberpunk. I just never got it yet. I've been playing Mario Kart World quite a bit. I was trying to get 100% into some Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Other than that, I haven't played too much or got anything else.
Gotcha.
I need to really just go through a lot of the games I have and actually just finish them.
How to get through that
Especially
backlog.
Breath of the Wild.
Wait, you never finished Breath of the Wild?
No, I keep getting stuck on the gameplay is like hard for me to figure out for some reason. I'm just like, I get too frustrated trying to figure it out. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna take a break, and then that break ends up being like 5 years.
I finished the game. I finished it once. The reason it's only been once, because even though I've put like 200 or 300 hours into it, is because I've vowed to myself that I will not start the game again until I 100% it. Which, that is a game that is going to take absolutely forever. I'll probably hit 1,000 hours 100%ing that game. Because I've done the 4 Divine Beasts. I've beaten the final boss. I've done all 120 shrines. I've collected. I was working on the Korok seeds. I think I was a couple hundred Korok seeds in. There's like 900 of those things to find. And then I want to get all the equipment, complete the compendium, which involves taking pictures of every single type of object or animal in the game. There's a lot of shit to do, but I really want to 100% that game before I die. That is one of my goals, to 100% Breath of the Wild.
You definitely got your work out for you. I just want to at least finish it.
I haven't tried it. I don't think I've even logged into it since Tears of the Kingdom came out, but
I need to finish Luigi's Mansion 3 too. One of the final bosses. He kept killing me too much.
I never reached the end of that one either. Luigi's Mansion is just something I tend to like only play around Halloween time, pretty much. For the most part. Not that it can't be fun outside of it. It's just, it's to me it's a Halloween game. It was the same way for Dark Moon on 3DS. I was the same way. I just only played it around Halloween. But so I've got a bunch of games here. Oh shoot, I left something downstairs. I'll handle that in a minute. But I just realized I left one of my recent game pickups downstairs. Okay. So I just realized you can't see shit because you can't see my camera. Let me see if will let me do this. Can I use the camera on 2 things at once? Real-time editing, folks. Doesn't look like it will. Maybe I can screen share this. Yeah, I'll screen share this. So that way I can show you these. So I've been collecting a lot of retro games lately. I've been going hog wild on my retro game collecting. So I'm gonna go through a few different systems here. I also have I've been doing a lot of mystery box gaming mystery box openings on the channel, started doing them. So some of these people who have seen those videos may have already seen, but I'm going to show them anyway. First up here on Game Boy Advance, I have Mucha Lucha Mascaritas of the Lost Code. Have not played this yet. I heard it's not really that good, but that was one I got in a mystery box. Another one from the same box, I believe, was Peter Pan, the Major Motion Picture event. Did you ever see the live-action Peter Pan from like 2003, 4, 2, something like that?
I actually don't know. I think I remember one of my parents having it on VCR, but do I remember watching it? No. I might have, but I definitely don't remember if I did.
Do you remember the cartoon Mucha Lucha from the first one? I forgot to ask if you had seen that or not. I'm trying to remember what channel it was on. If it was on Cartoon Network or if it was a Disney, Toon Disney one. I didn't watch it a ton, but I did watch it a little bit.
I couldn't tell you. I've never even heard of Mucha Lucha.
Well, another one I got from one of my subscription boxes is I'm trying to remember what this is called. It's called like Pro Soccer GB 2000. This is a Japanese Game Boy Color game. I still don't know what to do with because my shelf is sorted alphabetically. And this is there's no spot for kanji on the shelf, and I don't know if I can even get a game case for this. I use custom game cases for a lot of my games. I haven't gotten them in for these yet. And I didn't order one for this because I don't think they make them. At least where I get them from. Next up, also from a mystery box, was Columns for the Game Gear. I finally got a Game Gear game that's not Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So not only has Sonic the Hedgehog 2 been the only Game Gear game I've owned, but I own 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I first got my Game Gear, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was the game I got with it. It was just the game the person was selling it with, and I was like, perfect. That'd be great. That'd be a great first game to try on there. But in my brain, it registered as Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And so when I went to my local game store, like a week later, I was like, oh, they got Sonic 2. I can get this on top of Sonic 1. So that way I'll have both of them. So I bought it and got home and realized that now I had 2 copies of Sonic 2. And no copies of Sonic 1. Yeah. And so then I subscribed to I don't know, you probably haven't heard of it, but a service called Retro Game Treasures, where they ship games to you monthly. It's like a loot crate, but it's retro games essentially that they send to you. And the whole shtick is they won't send you duplicates. But I had not put in my library yet when my first box arrived, or at least when it shipped. So in that very first box, they sent me another copy of Sonic 2 on the Game Gear. So I'm sitting here with 3 copies of Sonic 2 on the Game Gear, and that's the only game I had for this system until I finally got this one in. And my other retro game box, Video Games Monthly, they sent me that. So I finally got something that's not Sonic 2. But moving on from the Game Gear, moving on from handhelds entirely, onto the Sega Genesis, I got a mystery bag of, or mystery box from a game store in Kentucky called Secret Castle Toys and Games, which has a YouTube channel that's done pretty well, so they're pretty popular. I ordered one of their mystery boxes to review it and try it out. I got some pretty decent stuff. I got Toy Story on the Sega Genesis. I got this game called Last Battle. I'm not familiar with this one. It's the only one that I'm not familiar with that I got. I have no idea what this is. I don't know if it's a beat 'em up or what. But then I got Rocket Knight Adventures, which is a game I've wanted to play for a while. And then I got Super Street Fighter 2, which, as I said in the video, which has not gone up yet, but I have admiration and respect for Street Fighter, but I absolutely suck at it. We had some family in town recently, and we went up into Nashville to that game terminal place I told you about, where they had all the free arcade games. And I played a round of Street Fighter 2 or Super Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, I think is what it was. And yeah, I can't even beat the first CPU in the arcade thing. It just mops the floor with me. I don't know why specifically Street Fighter I'm so garbage. I thought it would be just traditional fighting games, but I turned around to the Tekken machine and absolutely annihilated all of my opponents. So I just suck at Street Fighter, apparently. Always been that way. I guess it always will. I was hoping I got better, but no, I still suck at it. Then lastly, for the Genesis, I got Super Battleship complete in box, also from that mystery box. So I got the box, original case, the manual, everything. I haven't played it yet, but it's Battleship. So I'm pretty sure I get the gist. But then moving on from... don't fall. It fell. Okay. Moving on from the Genesis, I'm gonna move back over to the Nintendo side of things. So most of these I've gotten my custom cases in, but on the NES I got the Three Stooges. This game is horrible, but I thought it was pretty cheap, and I thought it'd be fun to try to as a fun way to torture myself if I'm feeling especially self-loathing one day. It'd be to force myself to play the Three Stooges on NES. I also got Jackal on the NES. This is what my custom game cases look like. Which is Jackal's a vehicle shooter game where you're driving around in these jeeps and you gotta like rescue some troopers from your unnamed country in an unnamed war against another unnamed country. But it looked pretty cool. I wanted to play it for a while. Haven't gotten around to it yet, but I got the game in. Got the Karate Kid on NES. The Karate Kid game. Another one I haven't played yet. I haven't played any of these yet. I'm going to say that every time. I haven't played any of these yet. But I got them picked up. So that's the game based on the Karate Kid movie. And then I got Ghosts and Goblins. I don't know if are you familiar with Ghosts and Goblins? So this game is hard as shit. I've played it not on an NES, but on like the various official release emulator thingies on different Nintendo systems. I'm horrible at it, but one day I'll beat this game. One day. Then also on the Super Nintendo, I got its successor, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. At least that's the Super Nintendo version. Which is also hard as shit. Arguably harder. One day maybe I'll beat these, but I don't know. But there was one more game I got in today, and I just realized I left it downstairs. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab it. And, yeah, because that's one I'm really excited about. goodness. No, don't fall on me. Get back up there. Okay. All right. So this one's, I haven't even opened it yet. It's still in the eBay packaging. Yeah. I cannot get this open. There. So still with its original box, not in the best shape, but the original Ninja Gaiden, which I'm pretty excited for because they got a new game coming out. And I've only played the newer series. I haven't played the old ones. I guess that's part of the box here somewhere. Oh, it's probably... I don't know. Let's check out the cartridge. Here's the cartridge. Pretty decent shape. Which... I don't know where this piece of cardboard came from on the box. Oh, there's a little sleeve in here with a mysterious white stain on the back. That's great. Mysterious white stains are always something great you like to see on your eBay products. Luckily, I've got plenty of other sleeves. I got one right here. I can slide it in. I'll put my actual Nintendo one. I'll keep it in here until I get a box protector and the custom case to get it to align with everything else on the shelf. I got this one in its original box because I want to display the box. Everything I have in its original case, like my Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and stuff, I want to display their boxes. And then put the actual game in the custom game case to get it to align with the rest of the collection. But yeah, that's all my recent pickups. In terms of what I've actually been playing lately, it's been Cyberpunk, and obviously you and I have been playing Split Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
So that's, yeah, it's been great. Been loving it. Oh, here it is. There's Split Fiction. There's my copy right there. I think it just about does it for the what we've been playing section. So I guess lastly for the cover stuff I'm excited for, I think when it comes to games releasing in the near future, we both have the same current top exciting game, that being Donkey Kong Bonanza, which releases 1 week, not even a week, technically a week, sort of, depending on whether you count today as Thursday or Friday or Saturday, but it's coming Friday.
How long? It's gonna feel like a week regardless.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that game. So next time we'll definitely be discussing that, assuming our next episode is after the game's release. If not, then we'll probably talk about it more, but I'm excited for that. Pauline looks adorable. I've got the game pre-ordered and the amiibo. because I'm getting that amiibo. Damn it. So
I'm gonna
yeah,
have to pick it up as soon as it releases. I want that game bad.
yeah.
I want Cyberpunk too, but Donkey Kong.
Cyberpunk's already been out for 5 years. I can wait. I can wait another little while. Donkey Kong is immediate. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, or anything you're excited for?
Pokemon Legends October.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. I don't know how I feel about like the city part of it. Like it looks nice. The little wild areas inside of it, they look nice. Just wondering how they're gonna actually play out.
Mm-hmm. What is this?
I remain cautiously optimistic.
I also like how I forgot to mention that when talking about I talk about the Ninja Gaiden game I just got. I mentioned how they have Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out later this year, when literally in just a couple weeks you have Ninja Gaiden Ragebound coming out. So I'm waiting for the physical release to play it. It is getting a physical release later. But that is a more old school Ninja Gaiden game I'm excited for, as well as Ninja Gaiden 4 in the fall.
Oh, Ninja Gaiden.
I will warn you, I don't know if the old games are the same way. I'm assuming they are, but the Ninja Gaiden trilogy, which is available on Switch, they're very good games. They are brutal, though. They're super hard. My brother and I, we had Ninja Gaiden Black, which was like the best version of the first Ninja Gaiden of the trilogy. We had it on the Xbox. It took me and Peyton, we essentially every time we died, we'd alternate. It took us forever to beat that game. That was the game it took us the longest to beat out of our entire childhoods. But when we did it, we felt really accomplished. Holy shit, was that game hard. I played Ninja Gaiden 2 for the first time, actually, when it got remade. Earlier this year, when they announced Ninja Gaiden 4, they shadow dropped a remake of Ninja Gaiden 2, which I played. That was before I was doing physical. I was really hammering down on physical only, which I need to get the physical copy of that. But it's also really good. Also pretty hard, but I think the first one was harder. At least Ninja Gaiden Black was. Though, from what I hear, the version that's currently available isn't quite as hard because it didn't have as many enemies or something. Which is Sigma for Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, and then 3. For what I've played so far of it, I haven't finished 3, but it's good. It's just not as good. But 1 and 2 are really, really good. And 4 looks really, really good. I also played Dragon Sword on the DS, which was solid for a DS title. But it's really fun. Hack and slash games are back, baby. I'm excited. Because it's been mostly replaced by the Souls-like genre. So I have a problem with Souls-likes. They're not really my thing, personally, gameplay-wise. There's a couple I can enjoy. I have no problem with them being here, but I wanted hack and slashes to also exist. So I'm glad they're back. And I'm glad Ninja Gaiden's back, and it looks like it's going to be good. So that's what I'm really excited for. There's another game called Witchbrook. When's that coming out? Is it like August?
don't think I'm sure that way.
Oh no, it's in the winter. Dang it. There's a game called Witchbrook that's coming out that I'm excited for. Trying to remember what else. Pretty much all the first party Nintendo stuff that's been announced so far. Kirby Air Riders and Metroid Prime 4. If it's still releasing this year, give us a date, please.
I hope so. That's gonna be such a big game.
Yeah. Ghost of Yotei over on the PlayStation side looks fun. But yeah, I think that's about it.
No, Xbox ain't got none.
Huh?
So Xbox has nothing going on.
Yeah.
We all know that.
The only I just remembered there is one Xbox exclusive game for this generation, which was Avowed, that came out earlier this year.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Which my buddy Joey played, and he said it was pretty good. That was basically his description. He enjoyed it. He said it wouldn't be a system seller or anything, but he thought it was fun, which is cool. It also did not get put on the disc. I don't think it even had a disc. I think it was just a download code in a box.
I hate those.
So,
first-person fantasy action RPG developed by Obsidian Entertainment. Interesting.
yep.
Not too bad.
So I'm still a little salty. When you're saying Obsidian, had me start thinking of freaking Outer Worlds, which had me thinking of that Sony State of Play from a while, or from not Sony State of Play, the Xbox Developer Direct, or I'm having a Porky Pig moment here. The Xbox Direct Showcase from Summer Games Fest, when the absolute letdown at the end. They had a final trailer that was playing. It was it was their big one more thing, and it's got Milo Ventimiglia, the actor, in it, who played Rocky's son in the Rocky Balboa movie, or Jess in Gilmore Girls. He's walking around in this high-tech area, and it all looks really cool. He enters this horror-themed area, and some really cool shit's going on, and it's all like twisted and very abstract-y. Like you walk out of something and everything's upside down. All for it to just be revealed that's Call of Duty Black Ops 7. And I'm like, great. All that, and I knew it was Black Ops whenever they had shown all the monitors and whatever from Black Ops 1, essentially. But it's like, cool, you're ending off your big show with the series that we already know is going to get a game this year because it gets a game every year. And not only that, but it's this direct sequel to the game that just came out this past year. I was like,
I don't play Call of Duty like that anymore.
The last time we got a non-Modern Warfare or Black Ops Call of Duty was 2021 with Vanguard.
I definitely did not play.
I haven't bought a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 3, the original. Not the second, not the second Modern Warfare 3, the first Modern Warfare 3. But
Black Ops 1 and 2, and then
my brother had Black Ops 2, and I did play that some with him, but
I mostly played the zombies.
Yeah.
Couple multiplayer sessions.
I would love for like maybe we call it maybe the Prime era Call of Duty collection, which is Prime era is pretty much the era that Call of Duty became Call of Duty, when everybody started playing it and everybody loved the games, going from Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, then World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2. Excuse me. And not everybody really liked Modern Warfare 3. I enjoyed it though. Excuse me. But and the games after Black Ops 2, like Ghosts, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, that's when people were getting real sick of the futuristic shit. And people were getting kind of tired of it. And then World War II came out, and then it just started going back and forth in time. And it sort of just entered into a whatever phase. With some titles people apparently enjoy in there, like the Modern Warfare reboot and Black Ops 6, I hear people like. But literally Black Ops 6 just came out. How are you already coming out with Black Ops 7? They're doing the thing they did with Modern Warfare 3, or the second Modern Warfare 3, where it's literally was supposed to be in a DLC, and they just turn it into a game. I don't know. But I'm not buying it, regardless, but I'm curious to see the community response to the game when it actually comes out.
Yeah. I didn't even buy Black Ops 6 either, but I played a little bit because it was on Game Pass. Tried the zombies a little bit. It's actually kind of fun. A lot different from the.
I heard the zombies mode was really good in that one. I didn't play it, but my brother, who's a zombies enthusiast, was overjoyed with it. So
that's not too bad.
Yep.
Definitely takes some getting used to. There's a lot going on in it.
I don't remember if it was World War II or Vanguard, but I played it was one of those two. It was the zombies mode. I want to say it was Vanguard Zombies because it was awful. I played it with Shelby's little brother, my younger brother-in-law. He's plays Call of Duty, and he was like, "You need to play Zombies with me." And I was like, "Great, which Black Ops are you playing?" He goes, "We're not. We're playing Vanguard." And I was like, "Okay." I hadn't played Vanguard before. Let me tell you, it was the worst. One, it was way too stupid easy. I don't know how this boy kept dying. I'm not great at Call of Duty, especially modern Call of Duty, because I don't play it. I haven't played any of them extensively since the original Modern Warfare 3. Like, I'm way out of practice. And I can't aim for shit on controller anymore. But somehow I still decimated. He kept falling, and I'm like, how? The only problems I encounter with the zombies is just seeing them in the first place, because the environments are so bland and they're the same color as zombies. But it was just so unbelievably easy and boring, and all the lack of all the features that are in later ones, like wall buys and wonder weapons, just not being there. There's just not as much to do. Huh?
They weren't in Vanguard at all?
No, at least they weren't at the time I played it. I don't know if it got added in updates afterwards or not, but this was shortly after it came out.
It's like a basic zombies feature. Like,
yeah.
How do you not have that?
I was fortunately relieved to learn that pretty much everybody was disappointed in the zombies in that game. But I was just like, man, this is not fun. It's just not fun at all. So my brother was very relieved when Black Ops 6's zombies came out. It was so much better, apparently. I still have not played it. I don't really plan to unless I'm just at somebody's house and they're like, hey, want to play zombies? Then maybe.
Or what would be me?
All right.
Probably made up like several other games I'd rather play instead.
Yeah. I'm getting
You sound
tired.
like you're getting pretty tired, just like me.
Yeah. I'm pretty good on Call of Duty for a while. I may sometimes go back and play the ones I enjoyed. I've also just really been trying not to play any games with microtransactions in them. I've been trying to do a lot more speaking with my wallet, and Call of Duty games are, especially because they've also been they've been caught using AI art and stuff on things, and I and all that stuff from a few years back of how females are being treated in the Activision Blizzard offices. This is a company I can't stand morally.
I remember hearing about that too.
I was gonna say, if you hadn't heard about it, you might want to look into it because it's a very upsetting, but it sucks because it puts me in a pickle because I like when that stuff came out, I was like, I'm not buying any more Activision stuff until I hear it gets better. And the CEO is gone. That CEO from the time is gone, but I haven't heard from anybody if it's gotten better or not. But they're also the ones that make, or would hypothetically make, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon. But I want them to make new ones, but I would have to buy it from them. So I don't know, but I don't think they're gonna make a new one, so I don't think I'll have to make that choice or not. Because Crash is my boy. His is hard not to. I haven't. They did come out with that Crash Team Rumble or whatever, which I did not buy, but or play. Was it free to play or was it? I don't remember.
I want to get the Insane Trilogy and play through that.
It is good. You can get the Insane Trilogy or Crash Bandicoot 4. They're both very good.
I think I'll play Crash. I don't know, it's been probably over 2 decades, maybe.
Crash is.
I hadn't hit double digits, I know that much, but it's been a long time.
I played Crash. Crash 1, 2, 3, Wrath of Cortex. I know people don't like that game, but as a kid I enjoyed it. I haven't played it since then, so I can't say if it's still good. Got Wrath of Cortex, and then Crash of the Titans. And then the spin-offs of Crash Team Racing, Crash Bash, and Crash Tag Team Racing. I played all of those a bunch as a kid. People don't like Tag Team Racing for some reason, but I enjoyed it. But I enjoyed Crash Bash as well. So even the games people didn't like, I was enjoying. Crash was one of my favorite game characters as a kid. It's still one of my favorites now. I've got my controller holder is Crash Bandicoot. This is the guy that dropped my controller earlier. Had this DualSense that likes to drift on the left analog stick. But yeah, Crash holds them on my PC tower over here. Yeah, Crash is my boy. I also like Spyro 2. Spyro is also cool, but I only had Spyro 1 as a kid, whereas I had pretty much every Crash game outside of Twinsanity, Nitro Kart, and Mind Over Mutant. And then like the Game Boy Advance games, but I don't really count those.
Yeah. I did have one Spyro game. Which one? On the PS for sure.
I actually did own Spyro, The Legend of Spyro, The Eternal Night on the DS, but I lost the cartridge like really quickly, so I still have the case, but no cartridge. As a kid, like within a week, I lost it and never found it. So I don't remember the quality of it at all. I only played it like once.
I don't know what happened to all my DS games. I had a bunch back in the day. They all just kind of disappeared at some point.
Mm.
I don't know what happened. I did re-get Pokemon Diamond though.
Yeah,
My
if you better hope you still have it, because those games are expensive now.
I definitely still have it. It's actually sitting in my DSi, my white Japanese DSi, because I didn't read it very well when I got it. But it's still a DSi. It plays DSi games, so that's really all I need to do.
I was gonna say Pokemon
It's not like I
Diamond.
can use the eShop or anything anymore.
Oh, hang on, let me put authentic. That's probably worth putting in there. Into this repro shit.
That is the only DS game that I actually have at the moment.
Actually, I guess Diamond isn't that bad. You can get it for like 45 authentic.
I want to get some more DS games.
I know.
Mario Kart DS, I want to get that back again too.
And I know this one's expensive. Yeah, like getting like just the cartridge of Pokemon Black 2 is like $150.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Like, those games are expensive. I wonder how much is Pokemon Soul Silver.
That Heart Gold, I had black. Well, not black. I had white and then white 2 on that. I had platinum. I never actually had diamond originally, but I just got diamond. I got platinum.
You're looking even slightly more for Pokemon Soul Silver, which I've got 2 of them. One of them's complete in box. Like again, they're technically both complete in box, but one's like the Pokewalker bundle. Except my Pokewalker got run over while I was in the parking lot of the GameStop I bought it from.
Ooh.
So I never got to use it. It was at the Marketplace Mall in Champaign, so it technically wasn't the GameStop parking lot. We were walking out, I was opening the box, and I freaking accidentally launched the Pokewalker, and a car ran over it. I still have it. Still have it back there. I'm not going to go get it right now, but the screen doesn't work. But
I still have my Pokewalker. I don't somewhere here. Battery's probably long gone, but I know I still have it.
I want to get a replacement Pokewalker, but I think they're kind of pricey. I think. How much is a Pokewalker?
Pokemon.
Yeah, you're talking $70 to $100.
And Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs on the DS.
I had Shadows of Almia, which I think I still have, but the cartridge is absolutely filthy.
I thought it was like hella fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed Pokemon Ranger. It sucks that something like that probably won't work as well on the Switch, so you could use like the pointer controls, I suppose. But that's one of the games that I actually did use my stylus for on DS, which I hardly ever did as a kid.
Oh yeah. Phantom Hourglass, I played through that. I just looked up popular DS games just to see what all was actually on there.
Yeah.
Super Mario 64 DS.
Yeah.
I did have that.
Sonic Rush. I enjoyed the Sonic Rush games on there.
I actually never had Sonic Rush, but I actually am looking at it right now.
It was very fun. I love those games.
Kirby Superstar Ultra.
That was both mine and my brother's first Kirby game. It was Kirby Superstar Ultra.
I think I did have that actually. I don't remember.
I need to get
Mario
Superstar
Party
still.
DS.
The original on the Super Nintendo. I don't have it yet.
Mario Party DS. Man, that was a good car ride killer. Me and my brother played Mario Party DS on car ride.
I never had that one, to be honest.
I loved it. It was that pretty fun. Mini games were fun for it as well, from what I remember. Of course, you had New Super Mario Bros., which was very fun at the time.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it'd probably be like New Super Mario.
Oh, it's one of those games. Eventually, one day, there were decent games. It's just the fact that all four of them were basically the same thing.
Yeah.
They didn't really do a ton new.
Like, they're all enjoyable. It's all Mario. Like, Mario's never not
They're all
fun.
like well made. It's just like
too samey.
Yeah, the only one that did anything like super different, or at least that felt really different, was 2. And that's just because there was coins everywhere. That didn't even do anything. Like anything out of the ordinary. Like 2 had such a big focus on coins, collecting a ton of coins.
I remember when they were releasing them, and I was hearing about that game, and I was like, that looks kind of interesting, but also like, why would I buy that just for coins?
It was fun. Like, you just need a 2D Mario game you haven't played before. It'll get the job done. It's solid, decent level design. I remember enjoying the haunted house level. Don't know the name of it, but I remember enjoying it. I think it was one that had sort of a lost. If this is the right New Super Mario Brothers game, it had sort of like a Lost Woods type thing where you got to go through stuff in the right order, and if you mess it up, you get like kicked out or whatever. If I'm remembering it properly, but sort of like the Lost Woods in Zelda, where you have to go the right path. I remember thinking that was pretty cool. But
I want to hit up one of these local retro game stores, see if they got any good DS games in stock.
I wish I had more. We literally.
I would order stuff, but I don't want to. Like, if I can pick it up today, I'd rather do that than order it.
Yeah. I wish I had more. I literally only have one retro game store within like 30 minutes of me. Which is one that is fine, but I had better options back when I lived in Champaign. We had disc replay and live action games to pick from. And disc replay, you could get some stuff for really cheap there. My current one, not only does it have a much worse library of retro titles, it doesn't know when a game is so cheap it should be $1. like who's buying NCAA Final Four 2003 on the PlayStation 2? So at disc replay in Champaign, it'd be $1, maybe $2, or if it's one that's really loved, maybe they have the audacity to charge $3. At my local store, which is a game exchange, which is part of a chain, it'll be like $7-8. And it's like nobody's paying that much for these games. That's why that's 90% of your libraries, because nobody's buying them. Like I would buy them up just to, like, if they're like $1, be like, yeah, sure, I'll get the whole entire NCAA Final Four set on PS2 for $8. I can fatten up the collection right there. But not paying $8 for one of them. But I did actually get a pretty decent deal from there. I got the original Tony Hawk Pro Skater on the Nintendo 64 for about $15. Pretty solid shape. That one was pretty good. I was pretty happy with that. But excuse me. But like the games that should be like dirt cheap, they just won't mark them down cheap enough. And that bothers the crap out of me.
They got not too many choices over here. That Mega Replay, which is essentially just a disc replay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they have different names, but they're basically the same thing. Well, there's this neat little small business video game store. It's called the Item Shop. I've been there a couple times. They have a decent selection in there, and also a bunch of collectibles.
That's good. Mine's got a bunch of collectibles in it, but I really want to go to like a local one, but we don't have a local one. I've searched everywhere, searched online. We have two local card shops, like for card games, like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or what have you. Which is where, if I'm getting cards, that's where I buy them from. But there's no local retro game store. I just have a game exchange, which is part of a chain, so that's pretty much my only option if I want to get stuff in person. But their selection is pretty pathetic. I've considered trading in my other 2 copies of Sonic 2 back in there, so they can have a little more game. They can actually have a Game Gear selection. Like, I've got a couple of duplicates I've considered trading in, just so that way they would have a better library. Like, yeah, they could use Twilight Princess on the Wii. I've got 2 copies. I could trade that in. But, I haven't done it. So whenever we travel, I like to try to stop by one at wherever we go to.
I like doing that, too.
There's some that, like, have, like, YouTube channels that I want to stop in and see in person someday. First on the list is Secret Castle Toys and Games. It's literally on the way to or from Illinois whenever we go up there. You just haven't been able to go past there during the hours they're open. It's always too late. So I need one of these days we're gonna be able to stop in there. Because theirs looks really cool, but my current one's pretty pathetic. It's got a pretty small selection. It does have some cool, like, gachapon machines, but, like, nothing too crazy. The selection for each system is pretty small, and the only ones with, like, somewhat decent size amounts are like PS2, where 90% of it is sports games. Games people don't give a shit about. So I don't know if just people here aren't trading in games, or if they're just not going about getting games to sell. So I've mostly stuck with ordering stuff on eBay, because that's the only place I can actually find any of the games I want most of the time. But I did get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater there, and I did get Dr. Mario on the NES. From there. I got the Lion King on Genesis in the box there. It's pretty cool. Those who don't know, The Lion King's my favorite movie, and I've made it my quest to collect every single Lion King video game ever made. I think I'm most of the way there. In every version too. If it's just every game, I'd only be missing one, which is a Timon and Pumbaa game on the Super Nintendo, but I want every single version of every game. Like, The Lion King I've already got on Super Nintendo, but I just got the Genesis version as well. There's the Simba's Mighty Adventure I've got on PlayStation and on Game Boy Color. And I got Lion King on Game Boy. I got Lion King 1.5 on Game Boy Advance. So I think the only one I think it might still be the only one I'm missing might be the Timon and Pumbaa game on the Super Nintendo. I'll have to go back through and check. I also got the Switch version of the Lion King as well.
can always run up to Peoria too, and they got a couple video game stores up there too.
Yeah. Which that reminds me. Speaking of Peoria, I went. So, do you know the game Rampage? It's sort of
It sounds familiar.
It's a classic arcade series where you play as like some kaiju, like big animal monsters, and you go through and destroy a city.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I played the first one they had it at Game Terminal, and I hadn't played the first one in forever, not since I was a child. I think, if I recall, it was a bonus feature on Rampage Total Destruction on the Wii. I only played it like once or twice. I did not realize. So the game starts off in Illinois, and the first town you raid is Peoria. And I was like, shoot, I didn't know it got that specific. Because my mom grew up in Peoria, so I was like, sure, let's go destroy my mom's childhood home. Why not? But I thought that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Like,
I didn't make it very far
up here. Of course, Peoria has its own mega replay. Probably has a bigger selection than mine does. You know, it's a bigger town. I might just went off a firework.
I miss whenever we go up to Illinois. I always have I try, if we're going into Champaign at all, try to see if we can stop by Disc Replay, even if I just grab a $2 sports game, just so I can remember that they were $2 up there. Because I'm not paying the prices down here for them. But
Mega Replay doesn't have. They got pretty similar prices too. What I've seen. Like, I got Mario Kart Wii over there, and it was like maybe $15 or something like that. I'm like, wait, is this right? Did you all not price it right? I thought it'd be like way more. I know there's still Mario Kart Wii is pretty popular still.
Yeah, I'm glad I got into retro collecting when I did. I do wish it was still a little earlier, but because I nabbed like some games before they skyrocketed in value, namely Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness on the GameCube. I got it for like $25 from Disc Replay, and complete in box. Whereas now, if you're looking for actually, I'm curious, what is it for? Yeah, now to get that completed box, you're paying like $200.
Yeah.
So
out of goal for some of that band.
I was like, I got in there just early enough. Because that one I picked up back when you and I were still going to Parkland during that time. I'm glad I did, because I would not be able to afford that now. I would not be, or maybe I could if I saved up for it, but I wouldn't want to. I'd rather buy just a bunch of other games instead. So yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up the show, because I'm gonna fall asleep if I stay on here any longer. I think. Holy crap! It's 2:20 in the morning. I could have sworn it was just what. I could have sworn it was just 1:30. Oh man.
Why?
But anybody watching or listening, thank you for listening to or joining us on at the Celadon Game Corner. My name is Jesse, and this has been me and my buddy Alex discussing video games. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Calculator Jesse, if you're listening to this somewhere. I don't know when the audio version will go up. But for more, you can see more of me and Alex every single Saturday on my channel. Alex Saturday, as I called it at one point. That's every single Saturday. Me and Alex are playing something. I don't know what is next, but I think it's one of the Nintendo 64 games we played on Nintendo Switch Online. Um, but we got a bunch of classic games that we played multiplayer of that are going up right around now. If you'd like to see us play some games together, feel free to do so there. Yeah, there'll be plenty more to come as well. So thank you everybody for watching / listening. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.